I've been fighting cancer. It's life-changing. Cancer has scarred me physically, emotionally, internally.
That is Sith Lord Stu, one of the original members of Reality Skewed Gamers. Unfortunately, Sith Lord Stu was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. He has been treated for it, but the struggles from after cancer still remain. Reality Skewed Gamers is teaming up with American Cancer Society this year for our charity fundraiser for 2019. We now have a great campaign started and a bunch of different things that everyone can donate to and get some fun rewards out of. Here are some of them that are available. Want a simple way to support the American Cancer Society this year? Well, just head to the Tiltify reward page and purchase this wristband. This wristband is going to commemorate the Stu Strong campaign that RSG and the American Cancer Society are putting on this year, and your donation will go to the American Cancer Society. In return, we will mail you a Stu Strong wristband so you can show your support for the American Cancer Society. So what are you waiting for? Get this wristband now. There is a limited supply, so make sure that you get yours today. With the purchase of the Good Ol' Maurice reward, you will get a video showing all of the dances that Good Ol' Maurice did on Jedi Academy with commentary about what he was thinking at the time he was doing it. Plus, there will be one additional bonus dance that you can vote for on Tiltify as well. All you have to do is go to the polls section and determine whether or not you want to vote for Good Ol' Maurice doing the Harlem Shake, the Truffle Shuffle, or the Dougie. Have you seen all those professional videos and podcasts made by Nukin? Well, Nukin has a great surprise for you. Head to the challenges section of the Tiltify page and you will see that Nukin is willing to give away a Blue Yeti mic or another microphone for you for anyone that donates to that challenge. As soon as that challenge is filled, the drawing will be held to anyone that had donated it. So are you interested in a Blue Yeti mic, a Blue Nano mic, or a Lola headphone? Just head to the Tiltify challenge page and donate now. Ever wanted to see Finity from Reality Skewed Gamers wearing glitter and rhinestones with the silver and white wig? Well, now is your chance. All you have to do is donate to the challenge on the Tiltify page. But this isn't just for the American Cancer Society, it's also for the children.
Kyrie, do you have a message for the RSG listeners?
Yes. Please donate to Finn so I can see him with his silver wig with sparkles and rhinestones and play cowboy cats and dress up his porgs.
And how will you feel if you get to see him like this?
Really happy.
Really, really happy.
Yeah.
So, what should everybody do?
Donate to Finn.
So please visit the links that you see on the screen or are in the description of the YouTube video to donate and help the American Cancer Society and the RSG charity campaign for 2019 this year.
Hey, welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J 1999, your host and part of the RSG crew. Glad to have you guys here. As you can see, we are kicking up hard for the Stu Strong RSG ACS campaign for the marathon we're running to raise money for cancer research in the ACS. So please check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That was all Finn. That was not me. Glad to have you all here. If you're new to the lunch stream and wondering what this is, we'll just hang back, bring your lunch, chill out, something to listen to, whether you listen to us live or if you're listening to us later on, download us on the podcast or listen to us again on YouTube and the replay. It doesn't matter. We're glad to have you here. Friendly reminder, give us a thumbs up on the video. Also, if you could subscribe if you haven't already. We do a lot of games on this channel now. So yesterday we do the lunch stream Monday through Friday from 12 to 1. But yesterday we did Battlefront for a couple hours. It was me, Decepticons, and Force Master doing some Battlefront. We're going to do some more of that on Friday. Last night they were doing Diablo, and they were running around killing unicorns and stuff. It was fantastic. Today is more of a straight swgoh day. We're going to be doing the lunch stream here. We'll do a Ross review, and then later on tonight we'll have the longest running live stream in the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes community going on. We'll be bringing down the latest and greatest news and notes from Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Tell you a little bit about what it all means. And then Thursday we get back to again another lunch stream, and then they've got Tactical Monsters, a new game that we're promoting and playing, Friday, against the Battlefront. Saturday, be Jedi Academy. Sunday, no D&D. So that's kind of our schedule coming up. So please, if you'd like to know when those are going on, subscribe and then you get an idea of that. Also, our Patreons, big shout out to all our Patreon sponsors is what keeps this stream going. If you would like to become a Patreon sponsor because you love the content and you'd like to keep putting out content, please consider becoming a Patreon sponsor. Anything from $5 on up. Every bit of money is used to go back into the stream to upgrade our equipment, do better, just quality of everything that we use it for. We don't keep it for ourselves. It's all back for the community and for the games that we play. That being said, that's all the side notes. With that being said, let's introduce everybody on the panel. I know Dr. Finn is here, but he's getting a new mattress. So
I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
They finished.
I don't trust you.
I have a new bed. Now I need somebody to break it in with. That's all I gotta say.
Ladies, if you're interested in breaking in a new bed and taking Finn's virginity, please feel free to message us here in Discord. Be aware that you'll have to fight over porgs and Ewoks. You know what? As a woman, just knock that crap off and you have your way with Finn. All right, so if Dr. Finn's here, he'll be monitoring chat and scooping for questions. I've got chat open as well as a backup. Eventually, we're going to get back Mr. Gingivitis, damn it. We need Mr. Gingivitis, Finn.
Yeah, I know.
But he's busy with school.
Busy with real life. So.
I know. It's trust me, I know how that is. Because between all these streams and stuff, I'm trying to get my last couple classes done for school for my BS. So, Bachelor of Science is no easy thing, Finn. Let me tell you. I'm sure you know. You got like 10 of them.
No, only one bachelor's.
I'm sorry, Mr. Master's Doctorate and other crap. Shut up, Finn. Shut up, Meg. Also joining us on the panel is all the way from across the pond from jolly old England, Mr. Mark Hunt.
Good evening.
Oh, sorry.
How are we all?
Yeah, it's evening over there, isn't it, for you?
Yeah.
It always throws me off when you
Just
say
on
that.
5
I'm like,
PM.
what? So, glad to have Mike here. And, of course, last but not least, we've got Grim the Mechanic is here as well.
Good eye.
He's down in Australia.
How's it going, guys?
He's gonna go stick his finger up that crocodile's bum. Glad to have you here. So get your questions in, guys. If you haven't already, we will scoop those up and try to answer as many as we can at the end of what we get done here with the roster review. I'm just using some of my energy here. Give me a second. That should be enough.
That dingo's got your Revan.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Revan, I am ready for Revan tomorrow. I have got all the gear that I think I'm going to check it one more time. But if I'm missing anything, it may be like a blue I don't have or something. I don't know, but I could easily get those. But like the Carbantes, I need like 15 more. How many more Carbantes do I need? Let's check, because I just want to make sure, because it's 400 Carbantes. When I saw that, I was like, "Gah!" I have 384, and tomorrow's Thursday, so I'll be more than able to get over 400. So I've got the Carbantes, I got the Stun Guts, I got the Droid Collars, I got their Sircon, whatever, I got the Ackroyd. Let's just say I've got everything I need, even the shower drains. Finn, I got the shower drains ready to go. So that's all.
Hooray!
Yay! I did it, Finn. I worked hard, did a great job, and stuff. All right, we got a roster review today. We do those every day here on the lunch stream. And
By the way, I know you're going to yell at me. I forgot to update the second one, so we do have two.
You son of a...
I put it in question because I forgot to. I was verifying with him, and he verified, and then I forgot to update it this morning. So I was working on the video. It's there now, though. You just have to click.
Anything else, Finn, that I should know about?
No, that should be it.
You sure?
I'll monitor questions.
Sure, buddy? You sure that there's nothing else we need to positive?
I'm sure.
I mean, you last minute me on the stew stuff too, you son of a... Hee my ass. See, this is why, you guys, when you wonder why I yell at Finn so much, this is why. He does this to me all the time. Last minute, like 5 minutes before the D&D stream the other day, he was like, "Hey, Ranger, I got something to do." "What do you mean? We're about to stream." "No, it'll take a minute." "What do you mean we're about to stream?" You know, it'd be kind of nice to have the information ahead of time. You know, I mean,
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be nice, Finn. And
We need a secretary.
you're just busy getting beds and breakfast
That's
cereals
true.
and crap.
Beds and porgs and yeah.
Son of a stupid Finn. All right, we got a Ross review today, so let's do them. We got 2 of them. So the first one is Tex and Pete's profile, and they are in Chis Ascendancy's Vengeance. Say that 5 times fast. Let's see, what do they look for today? Let me see here. Let me just read here. I would like to know if I should start to Gear 12 more tunes or get more to Gear 11. And tunes I should be gearing up. Any suggestions on Zetas? I've got 4, but 3 are for Revan. Well, a 4th one might be going on Jolie. I'm about to look at your profile. So just look at your profile right now. You have 18 Gear 12, 37 Gear 11s. I think you can start taking some of those to Gear 12. And I mean, that's a lot of Gear 11s. Your initial thought just before we look at the characters. I'm looking at like Treya. Oh, she may be 5.
Well, I mean, I want to see what characters he has at Gear 11 and which ones he has at Gear 10.
Sure.
The other thing I did really quick, just to see if it's going to be any impact, and luckily it's not, is if he took a crazy number of mods to 6E. We recommend not to do that, but some people still have, and that would be a consideration if you're trying to figure out whether or not to take characters to Gear 12 or take more to Gear 11. So starting out, he doesn't have a lot of 6E mods, which puts him at a good position that he can kind of go in whichever direction he wants.
Well, first thing I'm going to look at is Old Republic. He does have the Zeta on Jolie. The characters are ready to go. He'll get Revan. All this gearing you're talking about, forget it. It's going to Revan. You just you just saw me list out all the crap you need for Revan. So guess what, buddy? Don't worry about any other Gear 11 characters.
Oh, you have to switch the screen, Ranger.
I did. Oh, that's right. Oh, God. I thought I did, but then you threw me off, Finn.
He will feel Ranger's pain here in the coming Revan event.
Anything else, Dr. Finn, I can do for you today? Shut up, Meg. But yeah, so definitely these will be characters we recommend after you get Revan. Now, the first couple that pop up will be Basil and Jolie because you're going to be using them on your Revan squad. So let's just look at your other Jedi that will probably be on that squad and see if they need to be Gear 12. Because you're going to go with Revan in Arena. You're going to need Hermit Yoda or Grandmaster Yoda. Got to go to Gear 12. It's probably going to be Basil, Jolie, Grandmaster Yoda, Revan, Kenobi's kind of the standard one. Those characters should be priority for Gear 12.
And all of them, so that's what I was looking at, all of them are Gear 11.
Yeah.
Kenobi is 11, Grandmaster Yoda is 11, Jolie is 11, Bastil is 11. Yeah. All of those can go to Gear 12. Arena to Gear 12.
Those are your first ones. Yep. So we pretty much solved the mystery for you. But first it's going to be Revan, and it's going to be fun.
Revan at least Gear 11, but I would take Revan to Gear 12 first, and then your other characters.
I'm just going to pull up Revan's gear. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I got to do it. Because when I looked at this the first time, I'm just going to do it, Finn, because I want to go to this first, just to give you guys an idea of how ridiculous his gear list is. I've never seen... I thought Kenobi was crazy. No. So let's just look at his full gear list. Not gear levels. Just his full gear list. And
this isn't even the true Revan.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait for the true Revan.
This is the other white Revan. 400 MK3 Corbantes. 160 MK4 stun guns. You should have a crap ton of those. MK5 Lorna power cells. 160. You should have a ton of those. MK5 stun gun prototypes. 150. MK5 droid collar salvage, 150. The MK4 Suro sub keypads you should have a ton of those. The MK5 Athicum med packs, you should have a ton of those, but those are each 120. These two really threw me. These next three, I was like, wow. 100 MK7 Mirsan shield generator salvage, pain in the ass. Mark 5 Athicum med packs, the black ones, 100. The MK10 Tagco HoloLens salvage, 100. 80.
Check.
Yeah, no, I've got all these. MK3, the shower drains, you need 4 of them. 4 MK6 Carbantes, we should all have a ton of those. And then the rest down the line. MK1 Zalton Gel Power Prototype Salvage. Do you need 60? You need 65 of those? Uh-oh. I better look and see.
So, yes, to go back to the original.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute here. We need a sun
You're
gun.
revving first.
But you also need 50 of the MK8 NeuroSav electro binoculars and stun cuffs. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, absolutely bonkers crazy. Oh my god. So
Gear 12 Revan would be your first priority. Then you're looking at the rest of your Jedi. Now, that's because we are planning on using that as your arena team. So arena team Gear 12 first is the typical priority. So when you're asking what to do in terms of gear, there you go. That's the first thing. Take your arena team, which is your future arena team, to Gear 12. So again, Revan, Jolee, Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda, Kenobi. That would be the first ones. In looking at the rest of your roster, you have a lot of the critical teams already Gear 11
Bounty Hunters
or higher. First Order, Bounty Hunters, Resistance, your Sith, your Imperial Troopers. You've done a really good job on focusing on individual factions and taking them to Gear 11. So at this point, I leave it to you and what you want to do, especially with things like Territory Wars and Grand Arena. Now, once you get to Gear 11, your fluff GP is pretty much gone with those characters. You do get more GP for Gear 12 than 11. That's definitely true. But Gear 11 is viable for all of those different phases of the game where it's very competitive. The one thing that is going to change is the depth of your roster. Yeah. And what do I mean by that? For Territory Wars, you want to have at least Gear 11 for all of your factions so that they have a good chance on defense. And so if you want to focus a little bit more on Territory War, there may be some characters that you can take to Gear 11 first that may help you out kind of in the overall gameplay for yourself. Example, your Rex is Gear 10. You can take him to Gear 11. He is a speed-based character, and he can work really well with a character like Wampa that you already have at Gear 11 and provide you a counter team that you can deal with. You also have another character at Gear 10 is a Zeta Barisafi. If you want to use her more reliably, she's another character you can take to Gear 11. Finn, you have a Zeta on him. You can take him to Gear 11. Make the Resistance team on offense a little bit better. Same thing with Poe, and it'll also affect your ship. So Poe is another good character. So it's not like we're looking at a huge list of characters for you to take to Gear 11. You have kind of a handful of them. One of them for sure would be Masked Kylo Ren, who you currently have at Gear 9. You have a lot of your other First Order kind of set already at Gear 11 or higher, so you have a viable First Order team that right now does not include Masked Kylo Ren, but I would say you want to get Masked Kylo Ren up and you can replace First Order TIE Pilot with him. That'll strengthen your First Order. So overall, for Gear 11 characters, I think that was about 5 or so that I just named that you want to take to Gear 11 from Gear 10 or the one Gear 9 Masked Kylo. After that, you can focus on Gear 12 and strengthening each of those other characters. So once you get those other 5, you'll be able to kind of provide yourself some plug-and-play teams. You'll have a lot of the solid characters available for your roster. But then afterwards, go to Gear 12, because then you will really strengthen your overall roster and those teams will become a lot more dominant. You can Gear 11 as you get other gear randomly through like Rancor or Heroic AAT and all of that. But yeah, I would do your Gear 12 on your Revan team first, then Gear 11, those other 5 characters or so, get them to Gear 11 so you have a little bit more depth for your Grand Arena offense and your Territory Wars, and then start to Gear 12 and just max out those teams, because you are in a great position of very little fluff in terms of your GP. You have a lot of level 1, Gear 1 characters. You have some that are level 50 that are maybe in the blue because you were doing this beforehand, so that's fine. Looking at some of these, you may even have some characters that you haven't even unlocked yet, which would also be good. So you're in a very solid position here, and so that's the way I would go in terms of gearing.
Looks good to me. So you can just pick after the Revan team which way you want to go. Round up its squad. it doesn't really matter. You can pick whichever ones you want. I mean, you've done a great job with your characters. A lot of them are already and some of the teams are Gear 12 I saw. Bounty Hunters, First Order, good pick. After that, if you want, or you can round out some of your other teams like Imperial Troopers that you've got like 3 of them I think are Gear 12, so you can finish them up however you want to do it. So there's really no...
and then there's one other part to it, which is his fleet arena. He's definitely not doing well in fleet.
But he didn't ask
I don't know
about
what
fleet.
the reason is. He's currently at 350 in fleet. It may be disinterest.
I think that's what it is.
Maybe struggles. So Gear 12ing your fleet is another thing you can do after those handful of characters. And that'll strengthen it too. But the only thing first is to make sure that you know why you aren't doing well in ships. Right? If it's because you're not attacking, then really changing your gear isn't going to provide you too much. If you just don't like playing the game mode. If you don't like playing the game mode, that's that. If you're struggling and you like the game mode, but you're just not able to go higher, then what you would want to do is to start gearing up those pilots and getting them to Gear 12, especially your starting lineup. Whatever you decide is your starting lineup for ships. Right now you're running TIE Advanced, Imperial TIE, and Biggs. I think you have those already at Gear 12. Let me check. So your Vader is Gear 12. It doesn't look like the rest are. So you can take those to Gear 12 first, and that'll also help your fleet lineup. But again, depends on what you like, why you're not doing well in fleet, and then you can kind of decide from that point.
Yeah. So there you go. So last thing is he wanted to ask us, besides the 3 for Revan, what's the other Zeta he can do? I'm looking at his
Yoda.
Yeah.
If you're running Grandmaster Yoda in the Revan team, put it on Grandmaster Yoda.
Yeah, I agree. I was think there's anything else, but there is some other ways to get it.
There's other, he has other Zetas.
Yeah, Grandmaster Yoda's a good call. But, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because it's arena. Always focus on arena first, right? If you're putting Bosk on defense, Bosk's second Zeta is a really good Zeta that can help you there.
Plus ship.
You put the second one on Chewie. You can put one of them on Wampa if you like the Wampa character. I mean, there's a few Zetas that you can do with what position you're in right now. And so, but first one, round out that Revan team. That would be the first one. The other thing I would work on, because I see that your Zalbar is Gear 11 and your mission is Gear 11. One character I didn't mention earlier to take to Gear 11 is Vandor Chewie, and then he would be a Zeta as well for you to kind of make a viable Kira team for defense. So that would be another potential.
Agree. All right. So that is pretty much what you asked us to look at, Texan Pete. If you have more questions, then you know where to find us in our Discord, and please do. So the next one we're going to be moving on to is the Taco King 2's profile, and they're in Zuna Zoo, Zonazoo. So shout out to that guild. And let's see what they're looking for today. They are looking for. Is this the right one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would like for you guys to give me some advice about the next farms I should be doing. Whether I should go legendary or continue building other teams for other areas of the game. I do just finding ships with my shard not being too competitive. Okay. So, let me see here. His roster. He's doing alright. He's doing great in fleet. He's doing solid in arena. So, okay. So let's kind of look at all his characters and where he can kind of go is what he's asking. The first thing is we're looking at
he's in
colors.
the chat as well.
Okay, good. Let's see. Chewbacca, Thrawn, Bosk, Palpatine, R2, CLS, JTR, BB-8. Looking for 3PO. See, Hermit Yoda's Gear 10, 7-star, very good. 7-star Embo, very nice. Not seeing 3PO. Let me go right to Rebels. Not unlocked. So let's look at his Ewoks. No, they got some work to do. Got some work to do. Just farm the Ewoks. But let's kind of go through your rest of your squad from the top.
But he doesn't have C-3PO, you said?
No, his Ewoks are not even close. His Ewoks are 7-star Scout, Tebow 7 stars, Elder 6 stars, Wicked's 3, Lugre's 5, Popla's 5, Chirpa's 3.
Ooh, Wicket 3. Okay. Wicket, work on that wicket.
Mhm.
That's a Zeta also. You're missing out on a Zeta the longer your wicket is not 7-star.
I mean, you can farm the Ewoks. That's not a problem. Just get their stars for now. Bounty hunters look great. I really love this. He's worked on Embo
I
to
think,
add there.
yeah.
I like bounty hunters are fine. I'm just going down the line. First order. Let's see how your first order is. Solid. Needs gear. You need to finish up your Kylo Ren Unmasked. Well, first let's check his Old Republic. I'm jumping ahead of myself here. Old Republic.
Yeah, Logray does take forever. I saw that in the chat.
No, he's
yeah.
got everything he needs for repping, so he's fine there. So you can start farming. I'd finish if you're not already doing Kylo Ren Unmasked, then you need to. That's a team you can work on. If you're going to go with Revan, then your gear's on hold. It's all going to go to your Jedis and stuff like that.
Okay, so he said he's working on the farms right now of Wicket and Bastila.
Good. Okay.
I watched a video this morning by Dagger13, and he did 6.5 million with Ewoks and C3PO in Phase 2 Heroic Sith.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Just no, I must admit it was a thing of beauty to watch. But 6.5 million Phase 2 with 4 Ewoks and a gold droid that doesn't attack. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
So he put in chat that Kylo was paused because of Canderous.
No.
So I want to let's make kind of clear what we typically recommend and what you're doing, and making sure you kind of understand what's going on, right? So why are people farming Canderous? Well, the reason people are farming Canderous is because they believe that there's going to be some event coming up that will require Canderous, Juhani, Fallen Bastila, and Karth, plus some fifth that may or may not be in the game right now. Right? So that is one of the assumptions. By doing that, by changing your farm in order to do that, you are playing essentially a predictive game. You are trying to figure out what is going to come into the game, and then you are trying to farm it. What you need to do is also think about what is the consequence of that farming. So if you change from Kylo Ren Unmasked to Canderous Ordo, what happens if Canderous Ordo is not used for anything? What if that whole thing just ends up being some characters they threw in there and doesn't have a purpose right now? Well, you just spent all this time farming Canderous. You're probably not going to gear him because it's not really that worthwhile of a character, right? He's an okay character. He has some niche uses, and he can be effective. Don't get me wrong, he can be an effective character, but he's a very late game character. He's not a character that most people are going to be working on from the start. And so you have sacrificed your Kylo Ren Unmasked in order to farm a character that right now we are not sure about whether or not he has a purpose. What if they introduce another character that's going to drop, and now you have to farm him from Cantina instead? Well, once you do that, then you're going to have an issue with dropping Canderous, and now you're going to have stars on Canderous, and now you're going to be farming the next character, hoping that that's going to be for whatever is next. Especially for free-to-play, there is nothing wrong with you not getting a character the first time around. There are a few characters I have not gotten the first time around either. It doesn't really matter. You will be, most of the time, there is some counter to whatever it is in the game. What you need to do is also, especially with where your roster is at, because there's still a lot of characters you have to farm, I would not suggest that you do the predictive farming, trying to farm for whatever is next. There are currently things in the game that are very solid that you will want to try and make sure that you have. Kylo Ren Unmasked is a very solid character. He brings together the entire First Order faction. You also have a Zeta on him as a Gear 8. That basically means that your Zeta is wasted right now until you gear him up further. Gear 8 Kylo Ren is not going to really do all that much. So I would say focus on your Kylo Ren Mask. If you've already started Canderous at this point, I mean, you may as well. I don't know where you are at him, if you've been preventing shards and stuff. But when we say stay on target, this is exactly kind of what we're talking about. You want to go in with a particular focus on what you're trying to do. And working on your First Order faction is definitely a very solid focus. First Order is a very good faction in this game. Help you in territory battles, it'll help you in Grand Arena, it'll help you in territory wars. If you're struggling for whatever reason, which you're probably not at this point, but if you're struggling in the dark side table, First Order is a great thing. Kylo Ren Unmasked is also a pilot, and Slicer, the TIE Silencer, is actually coming back right now as a result of the Millennium Falcon as having a lot more value in this game. So getting his character up and his gear up is also very important to make sure that the ship is a little bit more survivable. I would say that, okay, so you said that your Canderous is now 6-star. In that case, I mean, you're already at the end here. Go ahead and finish Canderous at that point. But in the future, I would not shift simply to do predictive farming. Stick with your Kylo Ren unmasked. Finish off whatever you're working on, especially if it's a known thing. Like if you're farming something random, let's say you're working on Imperial Super Commando because he's one of the last ones you need in Cantina. Well, in that case, then that's fine. You can just keep you can drop Imperial Super Commando because you weren't really farming him except for any other reason than the fact that it was one of the last characters left. But if you're farming a character with a purpose, stay on target. Finish your first order next time. But at this point, your Canderous is already kind of ahead, so you can work on that. So finish your Canderous and go back to first order. I just wouldn't do that again. Just stay on target. We mean stay on target.
Yeah, his roster's pretty solid. I mean, there's some gearing that can be done here, but again, everything's going priority to Revan in that squad for you. So
he's done well on the stars. What we need to focus on is gear now, though.
Well, yeah,
the gear is where he has a lot of viable characters at gear 9, gear 10, so we need to start getting those up to gear
11.
we
get Revan and everything taken care of first. So your Jedi and Revan will be gear priority first to get them at least 11 into 12, especially if we're going to use them in arena like we said about the last roster review. And the other thing is, then after that, then you can start picking those teams. I don't care if it's First Order. I don't care if it's Imperial Troopers. Pick one, finish them out. I always go gear 11 on those. And once I had like 3 or 4 squads of 11, then I went like, okay, now I'm going to go gear 12. I picked one team like First Order, and I stuck with it, and I geared them all to 12 until they were done. Then I went back in and I did, Troopers, and then I went back in and did Night Sisters and stuff like that. So I had teams that were viable, and then I made them just even better after that. So that's kind of how you can approach it after you get the Revan thing done. So luckily for me, I already did Bass with Jolie and all those guys to 12. So really for me,
it's just... That does explain some things. He said that he quit for a year, and that's why some of his stars and gears are kind of odd.
Yeah.
Well, no, that would explain some of it, why he has a lot of stars, but some of them aren't geared up and stuff. It could be just for that gap. Okay. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But we need to bring your roster now up to speed, right? So we want to be very focused and work on certain things to get your roster back in form. You're not that far off. We just need to focus and keep pushing.
Yeah. No, that's understandable, Taco King. I totally understand. But you're still in a great spot, though. I mean, your roster's really, really good. You've done the right things. You've got most of the pillars knocked out. Farm Ewoks, get your Revan Jedi team geared up, and then you can start going through those teams and start gearing them up, and you'll be in a good spot, my friend. So it's not like you're not too far behind the power curve. Next thing will be
no, not at all.
Working on Ewoks, because that's the last pillar you need is 3PO, and then you'll have all the pillars done. Then you'll have Revan here real soon. So. I definitely would start working on the Ewoks as your farm.
And Ewoks, again, prioritize Wicket like
they
you
come
have
out of the store. They come out of the
Star
store and stuff like that. So you can still do your, Candace stuff like that, and then you can keep working on Ewoks at the same time, and then you're knocking out getting your first order, you're getting Ewoks in a better place, and if those 4 characters are needed for an event, you're in a pretty solid spot. So I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. But overall, good job. But yeah, we want to get all the pillars done. We want to get all the legendary characters done. Once you get, and the thing is, it's a cascading effect. Once you get those rosters and teams to unlock characters, it's not just the unlock of the character. We say this a lot. If you unlock 3PO, you're going to have a solid Ewok squad. If you unlock BB-8, you're going to have a solid First Order squad. And just down the line, it's just the way it works. So. The reason we were really harping on these characters is because you get more than just the character that you unlock. The characters are amazing. CLS is amazing. They're all amazing. But you also get the side bonus effect that it lengthens out your roster and gives you more to play because you've had to work on all these other characters. So stick with the plan, and I think you'll be just fine, my friend. Good job, Taco King. I like your roster a lot. All right, and if you would like a roster review, Finn, what do they got to do?
Just message me on Discord. All you have to do is find me, Finity, on the RSG Discord. The link is in the description. Tell me you want a roster review. Include your GG page. I will add you to the queue and then respond. If I don't respond, assume that I missed your message and just ping me again in like a day and just remind me, hey, look, did you catch my mail or whatever? I don't mind. And just make sure that I respond to you that you are in the queue. We're good.
All right. I got to go start checking what gear I don't have here.
Okay.
He was like, I'm looking at the gear for him. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. So I'm going to be going back and forth looking at that. And we can start getting the questions, but I'm kind of like, no.
Speaking of, I had a quick question for you guys since we were talking about the farming for Revan and all that stuff. I did the panic farm calculator, and unless I'm not going to be able to make it for Revan this time around again.
Unless you what? You got cut out in the middle.
Oh.
You said unless I'm going to not make it. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I'm unless I fork over cash, I'm not going to make it for Revan. Would it be a good idea for me to shift over and finish off Fallen Bastila and Candra's instead, rather than going for something?
How far are you?
To make it for?
How far are you?
Hold on a second. Let me scroll down to the Old Republic here.
So there are some. I mean, so don't forget there. I don't know what you are on all of the different characters, but that $6.99 crystal pack that comes out is fairly good because it gives you a good ratio of crystals to shards, depending on what characters you have left and all of that. So,
well, I'm at 87 of 100 on Bastila.
Okay.
I only have mission and T3 at 5-star though. They just hit 5-star, and Jolie is at 5 of 100. Zalbar's finished.
Okay. Oh, so have you not been doing like 1 or 2 or 3 refreshes of Cantina Energy?
I've been doing 2 refreshes each character.
No, for Cantina.
Yeah, in Cantina.
Okay.
I do my regular energy on mission, then I spend 100 on it and do her thing, and then I spend another 100 and do T3 and vice versa. I've been alternating who gets to refresh each, so they don't like dropping shards for me.
I mean, honestly, I would just continue with farming Revan. Just to put it out there, if you're having difficulty getting your mission and your T3 as it is from Cantina, switching to Ordo is not going to help because you're probably going to struggle getting Ordo shards at the rate that you need in order to get anything anyways. So I would say continue with your Old Republic farm. Make sure that you're ready for the next time it comes around. Otherwise, you're going to miss out potentially on Revan again if you continue with Candra's at this point. Because, I mean, if you're struggling getting, and I know you had issues with Hera as well for Thrawn, right? And if you're not getting good drops on Mission and T3 from Cantina now, I don't see why it would make any difference if you switch to Candra's. If Candra's struggles, then you're going to have another character that you're just not going to be able to get in time for whatever the first drop rate is.
And Candra's, it's not just Candra's, is it? You've got to do that set as well.
Yeah.
So you'd be switching and starting further back.
Mm-hmm.
Stay on target.
Yep. Finish your Evan.
That's why I asked.
Yep. All right. Let's go to the first question. It is from RSG Vormax. Question: when is Urban Blaster and Smithy D coming back to stream? Urban has just been dealing with family stuff, so I know he's just been busy. Smithy, I haven't talked to Smithy in a while. Ranger, have you talked to Smithy lately?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know what's been going on with Smithy.
Last I heard, he was dealing with life.
He has like family stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, have you had a chance to catch up with Smithy? I haven't had a chance.
I haven't. I was told that he'd quit the game.
Yeah, I think he quit. He had come back for a little while, and I think he just stopped afterwards. But I have no idea what he's doing. just even out of game. I don't think he'll come back to streaming this. I don't know if he does other streams though, but no, we'll try and figure out. We'll try and figure out.
Hideous wants me to stay on target, so Candorous it is.
God. Captain, or let's see, no. Tangent Revolution question. I know battle meditation is awesome on Grandmaster Yoda, but how necessary is it if you have the rest of the Revan team done? I kind of want to save, or whatever is even coming if we don't know what it is. Battle meditation is really good because you get that additional foresight. It's pretty
It's
pretty
a
awesome.
free hit, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a free hit, as in they're going to swing and a miss, which is great when it's on your tunes and awful when it's you on the offense.
Yeah, I'd say it's worth it.
Yeah, think how annoyed you are when you miss.
Yes.
And that's why it's worth it.
And there are now, so just as a counterpoint here, there have been more characters lately that ignore foresight, right? That have it so it's like an automatic hit. Isolate and Fracture are definitely two of them. You also have Scion that can avoid it, and I mean, there's a few more now, but still overall, foresight is still one of the most annoying mechanics in the game when it's on your side. And so yes, I would just continue. I would continue for everyone to put that Zeta on Grandmaster Yoda when they're running that Revan team. That foresight is very, very annoying and good. Let's see. Next question. Loading up again. Captain Obvious question. The bees have left the hive and the handkerchief is blue. Question mark.
Okay.
So if you guys don't know what that's referring to, Crumb apparently was on the stream of Arnold and Cubs fan on last night, and he basically posted that the bees have left the hive and the handkerchief is blue, and the question is, what is this all for? We can go around the corner if anyone has an idea. I have a theory, but obviously it's just a guess at this point.
Well, what do you think, Finn?
Me, I think the bees left the hive indicates Geonosins for something,
Yes.
And then the handkerchief is blue is because Grievous is always coughing. So I think what this is referring to, and this, I think people get to that point and then we all divert in what we think is happening. I think this means a Grievous capital ship with a Geonosis map coming for territory battles or war or both.
All I'm going to say on the matter is Google blue handkerchief. Next question.
No, don't do that.
I'm afraid. Last time you told
don't be Googling that.
Nothing good happened.
My dear God.
I Googled that earlier today. Mistakes were made. Oh God.
So why would you tell other people, our fan base, to do that?
Hey, Crumb did it.
I can't argue with that. You just put blue handkerchief out there, and people are going to search it. So
that's true.
Yeah, I Googled exactly those words, blue handkerchief.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I think is happening.
If
anyone else have an idea or guess?
If it really was Crumb, it might have been.
Cubs confirmed that it was Crumb.
But usually he does his hints on the official forums and then goes to the live streams and adds stuff to it.
He trolls wherever he feels like trolling.
But there have been several SB Crumbs on the live streams that are not Crumb. So I'm just saying.
But Cubs confirmed that was the Crumb. Cubs already confirmed that it was the Crumb. So that means it was a hint that he intended to put out. So that being said, any other guesses?
Eve Koff. There's your Koff.
Oh,
he's blue because he's
God.
a useless Jedi.
I'm blue. Abu-dee-da-ba-da,
No.
abu-dee-abu-da,
Shame on you, Pam.
Whenever I encounter Eve in any gameplay, the first words out of my word are, "What a waste of space." Can we just be credited for him? Just remove him from the game and give us credit for it.
I know. Okay. Next question from Miss Farquhar. Question: will Dark Side Boo be the new year, and how are you doing this week? on my schedule today. What?
Sorry, that's your advert. I've just clicked on.
I don't understand the question.
Say it again.
Will Dark Side Boob be the new year? And how are you doing this week on my schedule today?
How are we doing on her schedule today?
I am so confused, Farquhar.
Farquhar, are you doing yoga right now?
She was typing.
And it's hard to type while she's doing holding a position.
I am so confused by Farquhar's question. Farquhar, re-ask your question. I have no idea what you're asking. I'm sure it was something because we hang out on. Well, I haven't been there the last couple nights, but we've had like sessions where we're just hanging out in Discord voice and chatting and stuff. And I'm sure it's a reference to that, but I have zero clue what the hell this is talking about. God damn it. She just says sorry. I'm missing the reference, and it's probably my own fault.
I have no idea what the reference was pertaining to, so...
Yeah, but you're not in voice with us. You're not part of the cool club.
I'm not part of the cool club?
Nope. Okay. Paul Bracamonte, question. What stats are best for Revan and Jolie arena mods? Speed for Revan and...
Health, tenacity,
Yeah. Health, tenacity, and crit avoidance arrow. There you go.
Science.
For Jolie. Yep.
Quick thing, back on that other question.
The Farquhar question?
No, the crumb
Oh,
thing.
I thought you had broken the puzzle that was Farquhar. Farquhar is an enigma.
In Last Jedi, the stone huts were called beehive huts.
Oh.
Where Luke was staying.
Oh.
More Tuskens.
What?
Dude, where'd you get Tuskens from?
Shut up, Meg.
We're going to get more Tuskens. That's what this is all coming back to. We're getting more Tuskens. Okay. Grande Chingon question. How important is Kylo Zeta? And what is the best First Order team? I have First Order to Gear 11 Plus, except Kylo and the special one with Zetas on crew and First Order Stormtrooper.
I mean, the team I run is Kylo Ren Unmasked, Kylo Ren First Order Officer, First Order Executioner, First Order Stormtrooper. That's the team I go with. Now, some like to substitute Special Forces in for First Order Officer. So, Phasma and Pilot kind of get put on the sidelines. The regular First Order TIE Fighter pilot, but
both of them a little bit. Special Forces is good, but better on offense, right? He doesn't seem to work very well.
He does some funky stuff on defense, so that's why But I mean, that team's pretty much straightforward. It's turn meter. It's just speeding up your team and letting Executioner go around with that big hatchet and just cutting people in half. So that's what team I would recommend. But
the Zeta on Mask Kylo is a really good Zeta.
It's a very good Zeta.
I would prioritize the 2 on crew and First Order Stormtrooper first.
Yes.
I assume you have both on crew. You said you have the Zetas on crew and First Order, so I assume both on crew. Those would definitely be first, but the Mask Kylo, definitely a really good Zeta. Again, priority depends on what else Zeta you have available, where your roster is. Leader abilities that make a faction typically take priority, but if you're just asking if it's a good Zeta for your First Order team, yes, it is a very good Zeta. Is it crucial? No. It just kind of starts to put your First Order team a little bit above others when you have that.
I've got a video of Kylo taking out 4 Toons.
There you go.
The 4 Toons, 2 of them were Chays, 5s, and I can't remember who the other one was. It might have been Death Trooper. I mean, they were all decent Toons, and Kylo just, took the lot out.
Yeah, he is no
last
joke.
man standing.
Regular Kylo, he's one of the characters that you can get away with soloing 3-man teams in Grand Arena with him.
Yeah. And if you've got a Phasma, just stick in a Phasma lead and Kylo and just,
Okay, let's go to the next question. Jedi Training Bogus question. Not sure if this was talked about in the past, but what do you all think about a watch live of your guildmates attack in Territory Wars? Also, getting a notification that you're being attacked in Grand Arena. I don't think the notification for you being attacked in Grand Arena is necessary right now. Now, if you have the ability to watch them attack, maybe. But even then, their attack does not necessarily affect your ability to do anything. So I'm okay if you don't get a notification that you are being attacked. I think an ability to, watch live is always difficult. I'm okay with even a replay for you to see how your teams did well or how they fared on defense. So I think a replay would be very cool to have in this game. Maybe not necessarily a watch live, but I think that would be pretty interesting. But I don't know if they would do anything like that. It's somewhat of a vanity addition to the same respect that they're probably never going to add a scrimmage mode or like a sandbox mode where we can fight other people on our friends list and our guild and stuff. So I don't see that ever happening. I think it would be a cool feature. A lot of other games have it, but I don't see that happening with this one. It's just too far gone from what the base of the game is at this point.
What they could do, though, is on your home screen, you've got 3 of your energies and your crystal count. They could also just pop in a counter like you're either doing territory war or Grand Arena. You won't be doing the 2 at the same time, and it just has either your territory war, your guild score, their guild score, or Grand Arena, your score, their score. That means that you see it immediately as you log in, because you always open up on the home screen, and you can quickly see, okay, territory wars, need to get involved, rather than all the officers going blue in the face, because it also would save officers having to message everyone, pull your thumb out your bum, we need an attack going, or we need to fill these defense nodes.
The other thing too, and I know people don't like to hear this side of it, but keep in mind that the game is a business, right? If they are now saving replays for stuff, that requires extra server space, extra memory, all that kind of stuff, which means that all their expenses go up as a result, because this game is fairly big. There's a lot of attacks that are going on, right? Especially if there's like unlimited attacks that you can take on an individual team. And so you can, and I mean, it's unlimited, but it's limited by your roster. But all of the attacks could basically need to be saved somewhere for you to access them. They're not going to save it client side. They're not going to save it on your phone. They're going to end up saving it on their servers, because you need to be able to access whatever is happening to your defense. And so all of that would mean an increase in the price of the game. And so if people are concerned right now about the cash grab that may happen with Revan and stuff, if they have increased expenses, they're going to have even more. So a lot of these things you want to be cautious about. I know they're really nice features, and some games have them from the start. But adding something like this to this kind of game can also change the money mechanics that are being set that people are using. So.
Well, more than likely the engine doesn't support it right now, so they'd have to do a crap load of extra coding. Which costs a lot of money, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, so there would be a large expense to get something like that in there, and if there's not a return on it, then the expense eventually gets fed to us. So just something to be cautious about too. Remy Vinette question, reminder on the Zeta priority for Revan team as a whole. I saved 3 up, but none on the Jedi yet. I wonder which Jedi you are talking about, because Remy, and I don't know when the last time you commented in chat was. And if you're in chat, you can go ahead and kind of answer this question for me. When you say you have no Zetas on the Jedi, do you have the ones on Hermit Yoda? Because the 3 on Revan are going to be really important. You can potentially hold off on Hero and put a Zeta on Jolee instead. The order, I would say, is definitely Revan Leader, then Direct Focus, but then the next one can either be Jolee, Hermit Yoda, Strength Flows, and that one may depend on where you are right now. And so depending on what your situation is, if you have the Hermit Yoda one already, I would finish off Revan first, use Hermit Yoda, and then put the Zeta on Jolee and bring in Jolee. If you don't have Hermit Yoda, then I would put the Zeta on Jolee first, Okay, so he has none, not even one on Hermit Yoda. Okay, so then that simplifies it. Revan Leader, Direct Focus, Jolie, and then the next one would be to finish off Revan. That would be the order of the Zetas that I would put on your characters. And then you don't even have to worry about Hermit Yoda unless you plan on using him on other teams. It's a really good Zeta. I like it. I use it a lot because Hermit Yoda does become a kind of a plug-and-play character. So you can do that one later, but for the purposes of the Revan team, yeah, those would be the 3 that you do first, and then your 4th would be on Hero for Revan. Speedo Kills question. In P2 of Heroic Sith, if Hermit Yoda does not escape from Jedi Run, who are viable replacements in the Kenobi, Sabine, Thrawn, and Wampa squad in P2? That's a hard one. There are really, I mean, effectively, there are no other healers that will provide any kind of protection return.
Well, if it's under GK, is it GK lead, did you say?
Yeah.
So Zaris would be the one I would say.
Yeah, Zaris is the one I would do.
I mean, whichever healer you put in there, you're going to get the group attack when they heal, courtesy of the Mr. Beardy lead. And Zaris would be kind of the nearest. She's Jedi, and also she's got the Zeta as well. It means they can't be critically hit, which just, gets you through to Rampage or whatever we call it. Enrage, that's it.
Yeah.
I knew the word.
Barris would have to be the next one. The problem is you lose the Master's Training, right? Which calls to assist and also kind of increases the overall damage. Barris can also be targeted because there is taunt removals that can happen, and stuns and all these other kinds, because you can get shocked on Kenobi. And so Barris can be targeted versus Hermit Yoda that can't. Yeah, I mean, Barris has to be the next option with the Zeta, but I would try and escape Hermit Yoda if you can. I know some people are speeding through the first thing and you don't have time to retry if your Hermit Yoda dies, but yeah, I would say Barris has to be the one. Okay. Next question. Ezra Bean, since crit hit immunity and avoidance is omnipresent in Revan teams, does it make sense to give crit damage triangles to Revan and Grandmaster Yoda? Yeah. Well, Revan, I don't... Okay, so, Mike, you have Revan right now, right? So you can kind of comment. To me, the primary on the triangle, if you can get a crit damage, is fine. But Revan, I'm really just looking for whatever gets me the fastest speed on him.
I was just about to say that. I can't even tell you what mods are... what I've got in regards to what stats they are. Oh, I can tell you I've got a defense cross. Oh, what did I do there? Okay, right. Where is he?
Yeah, Revan is all about speed. I wouldn't even worry about the primaries for the most part. You just need him to go fast and often. Grandmaster Yoda, I would still put the crit damage triangle because you can get crit damage increases from Revan's lead, plus from Bastila providing buffs. I mean, you can get enough crit damage to overcome the avoidance, and still Grandmaster, the overall damage calculations are always better when you have a crit damage triangle versus an offense, except for very low crit chances. Set-wise, you can use an offense set instead of a crit damage set. That'll get you a little bit more consistency. So I would say use offense set, especially on Grandmaster Yoda, offense set with crit damage triangle, gets you more damage on average. And then you can put a offense primary on your arrow and an offense primary on your cross.
I just checked. My Revan has got, it's got a speed cross, which is defense, but it's got 22 speed on it.
Mm-hmm.
Protection circle, which is a health mod, 26 speed on it. And my triangle is also a health mod, 24% protection with 25 speed on it.
Yeah.
Speed, that's all you need. Revan does do damage, yes, but he is not the damage dealer in that squad. He guides them. The one that deals the damage we've just covered, Grandmaster Yoda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, the characters on the Revan team in particular, and we mentioned this with modding Jolie, right? Jolie is going to be a hard one to crit. So he may be the only one that's difficult, but there's a lot of ways to get damage through onto Jolie. That's why I was saying for Grandmaster Yoda, offense set, and then crit damage triangle, I think is the better triangle still for him. You can do an offense triangle if you want, but I would still go with the and then no, and I see what you're saying, Moss Mike. No, for Revan, I am not concerned about the primary. You can put a protection primary on Revan. I don't care. You need speed. Revan is all about getting a crap ton of speed. Now, if you have the luxury of having a bunch of speed mods that are all like 22 and you can pick, then yeah, then you can focus on the primaries. But if you're just getting Revan and you're trying to figure out how to mod him, most people don't have the mod depth in order to slow down Revan for better other stats. Revan just needs to be fast. The faster of your Revan, the better. That's all that really matters for Revan. Grandmaster Yoda is different, not Revan. Proper catch question: when focusing on a mod for protection secondaries and the mod has both flat and percent protection, which one is most important? The flat one is typically better until you take a mod to 6E, and when you go from 5A to 6E, the percentage stats get a nice boost. And so if you have high rolling 4 like a parenthesis 5 gold mod with percentage, then you're fine. But in general, flat is better before you get to 6E, and once you get to 6E, they kind of balance out a little bit. Actually, protection can get a little bit of an edge, but you need to make sure you get the good rolls on them too for each of those. Apparingo question: what is the best placeholder while I finish gearing Jolie for a Revan team? Hermit Yoda, probably. Yeah. Assuming the rest of your team is like Revan, Grandmaster Yoda, Kenobi, and Grandmaster Yoda. Or who am I? I think I said Grandmaster Yoda twice. Revan, Yoda, Kenobi, Bastila. And so if you do those 4 and you're looking for a 5th, then Hermit Yoda is probably your best next one.
Yeah. Hermit Yoda or Barris.
No, I would not. No,
not Varys.
I mean, if he's needs a healer.
No, you're better off without a healer at that point. Sorry, okay. Barris does not work well with that Revan team. She doesn't provide enough of a benefit. So you would either go with Hermit Yoda, and so Hermit Yoda works out really well because he has a huge amount of survival too because he stealths, or you go offensive, like pure offensive, and just try to burst them down, and then you use somebody like Ezra if you have him. But I would not use Barris on that team. RSG Vormax question: what would you guys and gals prefer? Ebon Hawk, Darth Malak, Sith Revan, Separatist clone reworks, Ship Raid, or all of the above?
Well, Revan and Malak are on my happy go fun time list, so I mean, let's just be real. Saying Darth Revan.
I would rather the Executor. Okay. And Dr. Aphra and BT and her 2 droids there.
Would we need Darth Revan before we get the Ebon Hawk Ranger? Or could, I know you're not happy with the title, but does Ebon Hawk work with Jedi Knight Revan?
Not really, but you know.
I mean, did he have the Ebon Hawk at the time?
You don't have to actually. Jedi? I mean,
forget the fact that the Jedi Knight and all of that, but he was with the Jedi in the war and all of that. So did he have the Ebon Hawk at that time?
No, it was afterwards. It was afterwards. It was during the Knights of the Old Republic. So yeah, Jedi Knight Revan would not work.
Okay, so we would have to get a Sith Revan then in order to get. Assuming again that they're consistent with the lore to some extent, we would need Darth Revan in order to get the Ebon Hawk, but the Darth Revan is probably not coming now. Darth Malak I think is coming this month. As to whether or not I prefer him, I can go either way. We'll have to see his kit and all of that, but there's that. Separatist clone reworks. I think the latest Territory War update kind of shows that they're not planning a clone rework. They're going to find other ways to use clones. So I don't think clone reworks are going to happen. Separatists may, if there is in fact something with Geos and Grievous. So I think that's probably what I'd be looking forward to the most, is something with the Separatist, as well as a Geonosis map of some kind for territory battles and territory wars and all of that. Ship raid, a whole raid for ships, we are not ready for. Just flat out. We don't have the depth in ships. Now, we are at the point, once they introduce another capital ship, that we will have 5 viable teams, which means that we could have a ship phase. I think 5 ships, like full squads, like that we can run, full fleets, that we can run, does provide us the opportunity for a phase that involves ships. But not a whole raid, but just a phase. So I would say Separatists with territory battle and territory war Geonosis rework, and a phase in a raid for ships would be 2 kind of interesting things if they do it. I'm definitely more favoring Geonosis because I think that means the introduction of Midriff Padme and Advantage.
Though one thing that Ranger might think would be cool if they were to add it was Mitra Surik, and then the Ebon Hawk under her command.
Oh, I can see that.
There you go. What else? 73 question. How did everyone do on your credit heist, and do you think credit heist needs another tier for more credits?
No, it doesn't need another tier at the moment. Now, if they increase gear to level 90, they better bump that crap up.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Well, they need to bump up the minimums for higher level people, because like if they up to like 20 or 25 mil, it would just make you feel even worse for getting 4 mil, which is what I got.
I got 7.5.
I got 5.
But
I mean,
I'm happy with a 5. Anytime I get a 5, it's like, yay, I didn't get a 1.5. So
they're giving out a lot of credits in the events and raids and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of credits flying around now.
Yeah,
however,
they're going to drain us.
I think
soon.
they're
That's why
okay. I think they are going to, and they have to increase it, the minimums at least on the.
And you can see, and I have it open right now. We can see kind of the progression, right? They've been doubling the base, and somewhat doubling the top as well, which means if they added a new tier, let's say it's tier 5, and I can't remember exactly what level tier 4 unlocked. I think it was like level 83 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If they added a tier 5, you would probably need like level 86 or something in order to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be from 3 million to 20 million, which I'm okay with. It's a chance for something. The base of 1.5 would be the lowest. The 2.5 would probably go up to 5, which means that on average you're probably going to get about 10 million every single time, and then you have a chance for 10 million on one, and maybe even 20 million on another for each attempt. So it's not bad. So in an individual one with 2 attempts, you can get anywhere from a minimum of 6 million all the way up to 40 million. I mean, I'm fine with that. It's RNG. There's a lot of ways to get credits in this game right now. I think that would be fine. But they would obviously have to. They would be scaling with what we need in order to get from level 85 to 90. So it's not like it's just free credits. We're going to be spending them all like crazy when that happens.
Yeah, when it costs you 10 mil to take one character from 80 to 80, or from 85 to freaking 90.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more than that. But yeah, it'll be they'll drain us of our credits. They know when people are accumulating resources and then try to drain it, just like we saw with the fleet currency, with putting in those mods in the fleet shipments. And Mike spent what, like 3 million? How much did you spend, Mike, once they introduced fleet into fleet currency for mods?
Something in the region of 130 million.
There you go. so they know when currency is being accumulated and trying to drain it from people. Ouchie question: what is the name of the person who was supposed to be here for the next couple days to get the money for Revan? Huh?
What?
I'm really confused. I'm missing something, aren't I, Grim?
I don't know.
What do I feel like Ouchie and Farquhar are just trolling me? Farquhar and Ouchie are just trolling me today. Okay. Darth Hideous question. God, I feel like I'm just missing everything. They're just okay. Darth Hideous. No, that's not a question. Nathaniel Morgan, question for Finn and Ranger. Who should I farm first, Sith Marauder or Hera? I know why he's asking this question. Yeah, that's why. Hera. Next question up for Ringo.
Hold on. Just for the record here, I will pull it up for you. My Sith Marauder. Come on, we're Sith. My Sith Marauder is only 4-star.
There you go.
And Hera is 5-star, almost 6-star. If the node would ever give me any of her damn shards.
All right, next question. Alparingo question. If Grievous gets a capital ship, should be meta, do you think they would remove the advantage of the Falcon whales that fast? I don't think it's going to remove it. I think it's going to be a capital ship that Millennium Falcon will probably fly under and have some synergy with, oddly enough.
If they do Grievous freaking capital ship, be prepared to be touched inappropriately by the invisible hand.
That's right. And that's a good pun. Okay, next question is from Takedown Games. Question, what is Darth something, as T-Money calls it, going to be in February? Thinking a gear check for Malik? Thanks again, guys. No, I don't think it's going to be a gear check. I think it's going to be a legendary. So it's going to be a 5-star check on the new Old Republic characters. Karth, Juhani, then Fallen Bastila, and Kandris. You're probably just going to need a 5-star for the unlock. That's our guess at this point. I think that makes the most sense with where the game is and all of that. So, next question, Aparingo question. Zetas for the First Order team already have crew lead and OG Kylo unique. Which Zeta should go next? Crew unique or First Order Stormtrooper unique?
Let's look at it. I went both on Kylo Ren. For me, it was both in Kylo Ren, First Order Stormtrooper, then Kylo Ren, regular. That's kind of the order I did it. Because you want his leader, and his unique is really, really good. First Order Stormtrooper was next on the list to get done, and then, of course, Kylo Ren is a must. I don't know. Did you guys do it differently, or?
I would do everything on crew first.
Yeah. He's just so good with both his Zetas. And Stormtrooper, you need it, but Kylo Ren with his 2 Zetas, you get more bang for your buck than I think you do for First Order Stormtrooper. But that's the order I would do it.
Okay. Aparingo question, is Finn ready for Revan? Yeah, I was ready for Revan like 2 weeks after the event ended last time.
Yeah.
I've had all the characters 7-star for a while.
Yeah, same here.
If I remember correctly, you were only like, what, 50 shards away from being complete with a couple of them? And
yep,
something.
I could have bought a pack and done it, but I didn't. So, yeah, that was like a week away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so right now, I haven't really put anything on T3. I think T3 is Gear 1, level 57-star. The other ones, I believe, are all Gear 12 with the Zeta. I think Bastila, Zalbar, Mission, and Jolie all have their Zeta and are Gear 12 right now. So
yeah, my mission's 10. Zalbar is 8. Bastila and Jolie are...
Oh, no, my Zalbar is Gear 11. The other ones are Gear 12.
T3, I think, is 7. I haven't done anything with him. It just took him to Gear 7. But Bastila and Jolie are both done with the Zetas. So I was going to finish up Mission and Zalbar, but now that I know that Revan's coming, I put them on hold, so I'll finish Revan first, and then I'll go back and finish those 2 off for my Scoundrel team.
Takedown Games question, still likely for a solo legendary, would love to see Beckett. It's possible. I think
possible, but I wouldn't count on it.
I mean, the T3, the L3 login is kind of interesting. So I feel like they are going to introduce something solo related. It's possible it's Beckett. I'm still leaning towards Mechanomal.
Nah, it's gonna be that one dude that was sitting at the
Therm Scissor Punch.
Yeah,
Therm Scissor Punch. We need Therm Scissor Punch.
The dude sitting at the gambling table with Lando.
Yeah, Therm Scissor Punch.
Because we all know PG likes putting in the dudes that only had about a 2-second screen time, like Pow and Biston.
Therm Scissor Punch would be awesome. Most people didn't even realize where he was in there. I was looking specifically for him, so it's a little different, but yeah. Most people People didn't even realize he was in the movie. That's how awesome he was. Okay. Next question, Victor McFarlane. The standard Revan team is Revan, Kenobi, Jolee, Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a better team for defense, i.e. substituting Kenobi out for Juhani?
No.
Right now, no. Juhani, I've actually seen a few. It works, but it's not as good.
No.
The only character in that team that I have seen substituted for that can work well is actually Bastila. And you replace Bastila with a decked out Ezra. I have seen that substitution, and that team does work well on defense. Almost similar to the way Bastila works. It's less about buffs and more about calling to assist and just more damage output. But they're both really... that would be the only substitution. I wouldn't substitute out GK. If you need to, Old Ben would probably be the next best one over Juhani, and then probably Juhani. But yeah, it wouldn't be that. What else? 73 question. What is the optimal Revan team for Arena and how to mod Revan for Arena? Yeah, I think we discussed that already. It's the same team that we just mentioned. Revan, GK, Jolee, Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda, and Speed on Revan. Chewie question. Phase 1 good with Jedi training Rey with Hermit Yoda? Yes. Definitely is. Mm-hmm. Hermit Yoda is the second best fifth on that team. The 4 that you would probably have are Jedi training Rey, BB-8, R2, and then either Resistance Trooper or Rey. Most people don't have both of them geared up, and so typically the best fifth is if you have the other one geared up, you're using both of them, Resistance Trooper and Rey. But if you don't have both of them, then Hermit Yoda ends up being one of the better ones. Actually, I would say it's the second best. The third best. The second best is probably going to be Visas. So Visas is better than Hermit Yoda, is better than Barris as your fifth after Resistant Trooper or Scavenger Ray.
Science.
Rampage question: do you guys think CG will ever add crystals as a reward for Grand Arena? No.
No.
I don't.
Not gonna happen.
No.
Revenator question: thoughts on if there will be an episode 9 teaser during the Super Bowl? Yes.
It's possible.
I'm gonna say yes.
I don't know. I mean, a teaser before. I think the teaser's not coming out till. Well, no. You know what? They could do a teaser, and then Celebration will drop the first trailer. That makes sense.
I mean, keep in mind, there's a lot of Star Wars stuff going on this year, right? They're opening the parks also in Florida and Cali for all the Star Wars stuff. And I mean, they have a lot of stuff going on. So it would not surprise me if they put a teaser and also maybe even promo the parks.
Yeah,
well.
Do like a first look.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Make sure, and yeah, this first look at episode 9, and then make sure that you go to Walt Disney World Resort and everything during these times for the unveiling of Star Wars. Yeah, I can see all of that happening for the Super Bowl.
Science.
Look, episode 9, Lando, Colt 45.
Ski Trooper question: what primary do you prefer on Gear 12.5 L3? Grim, you take this one because I know you use L3 a lot.
Wait, what was the question?
What primary do you prefer on Gear 12.5 L3? The primaries on the mods. Primary and the arrow in particular.
On the arrow, I go for speed because you want her going and using her basic as often as possible, so she's constantly stacking her max health. Because that's what her big taunting heal is based off of, and she heals herself, not just all the other scoundrels. So
I like when she keeps punching herself in the head too. That's amusing.
Well, you can only use that 3 times.
I know, but it's still fun watching her punch herself in the head.
Yeah, on mine I went for like the mods, the sets. I went health and speed. And well, that's pretty much. You want health on her, max health. That's the main focus. You don't want her dying, but if you team her up with Vandor, which actually reminds me, when Vandor reses L3 after she dies, she does not lose her max health stacking bonuses. So, food for thought.
Yeah.
What am I censoring? Why are they saying I'm censoring questions? I haven't censored anything.
I said you missed one.
Whose did I miss?
I don't know.
Nah, they're talking about some of the troll questions they've been asking.
I haven't skipped any of the troll questions either.
Well, there you go.
I've been reading all of the questions.
Censorship is fake news.
The only one I skipped was hideous, not because it wasn't a question. It was just a statement that had question in there. Normally I filter that for the night stream, but since I'm trying to do this on the fly, like it wasn't a question. I haven't skipped anything. Man. Proper catch question. When do you guys sim for credit heist? Do you sim them both? Do you sim one at a time? I sim both of them.
Yeah.
I sim both of them. I get the same rewards regardless of whether I do it or not. I always wind up disappointed.
Oh, people in the chat are saying that they said that they're not doing the Super Bowl ad, and they may have even said that they pulled it.
Oh,
Okay.
It's possible. I have no clue.
We'll find out when the Super Bowl happens.
Mm-hmm. Darth Hideous question: does Nightbot pick up every statement with the word question in it? Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But typically, I filter that out for like the night streams and stuff whenever I'm doing questions because I read them first and then put them in there. So there you go. Tangent Revolution question: I don't know if you discussed this before, but I really think they need a credit heist for ships because I struggle there big time.
When you first start with ships, yeah, you struggle.
A lot of the events give a lot of credits for ship credits.
Yeah,
and stuff.
that honestly is a earlier game struggle. I remember struggling with that at the beginning,
Sure.
but then later on, you end up. All of my ships are level 85 right now. I am just collecting.
I think the same for me. Yeah.
I'm just collecting it right now. It took a while for me to get to that point, so I understand where you're at. They are probably not going to add anything for ships because the higher end players are able to accumulate it without needing it. So as soon as that happens, then that will never like if you're a later game player, like a longtime veteran, and you're able to accumulate the currency and not using it, especially as a free to play, then there's no reason for them to add it. So for now, they are not going to. Now, when they increase the level cap for characters, there will be an increase in the level cap for ships as well. And so when they increase the ships for level 90 as well, at that point, we may see the need for a ship credit heist. But for now, no. Darth Hideous question: hey Grim, farm for Jevin. That's all he said.
Candorous it is.
Science.
You think I'm joking?
Let's see. Oh, I see your question. No, I just missed it, Aparengo. I wasn't censoring it. Okay, so he re-asked the question. So he asked a question to Ranger.
Uh-oh.
Even when this Revan hashtag is not your Revan, are you planning to go all in for him and betray Darth Revan?
Yeah, I have to. I have to play the game, man. It's not about whether I like it or not. It is what it is. I mean, I have no choice.
Well, that regardless of whatever they come out with, Lightside Revan is still gonna be really good.
Yeah, whether I like the version of the Revan or not is immaterial. He's really ridiculous. So yes, I will. It betrays all my feelings towards our Lord and Savior Darth Revan, but it is Revan in a former life. So before he learned his true nature and true purpose, I look at it as like the beginning of the story of Revan. So I will accept it in a very
hashtag Revan embraces not your Revan.
Yeah, right.
Next
pretty
one.
Much, yeah. I mean,
well, to be honest, we wouldn't have a problem with it if they wouldn't have given him the freaking mask. Let's just put it that way.
Well, I don't think we ever had. I don't think we ever had like in any of the story comics or anything a picture of Revan's face. You know, it wasn't. You know, so it's interesting that.
Well, it was because, you know. Like in KOTOR, Revan could have been female or male.
Well, yeah, that was BioWare,
his face to look like, you know. You know, they could have taken liberties and just got rid of the mask, and then we wouldn't have had a problem with it.
Yeah, it's fine. But they mysteriously hit his face throughout everything, so I was like, okay, I get why they used the mask. It's You know.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, they could technically the story arc where he does find the Mandalorian. She dies. She grabs the mask and he wears it. I mean, I could see where they went with the design of it. So, I don't have a problem with it per se. You know. So.
Next question from David Bond. Question: Ranger used to have 13K crystals. What happened?
It's called Revan.
Revan.
There you go. Revan. Okay. M. and Iskar. Question: which triangle primary for Django? Crit damage or offense? I would prefer offense.
Yeah.
For Django?
I would say you want to increase his damage with his.
He doesn't really get anything from
con
the
flag
crit.
and everything.
I mean, he hits harder, but I mean,
He gains stacking offense and all these kind of things. I would probably go with offense just for more consistent damage. But I mean, I would just try to make sure
you're not wrong going either way. You're really not. And I have to look at mine. I put some mods on it, but I don't know what I put on there. Yeah, I went offense with him.
He gains. I mean, he gains critical chance in lead.
Yeah.
It also depends where you're running him, right? Like, are you running him in lead where the contract payout gives him crit chance?
So,
or are you running him, like under a bosk or something?
Yeah,
on
mine's post the offense.
Yeah, so it depends on where you're running him too, because you need to see what kind of crit chance he gets. He's a reasonable crit chance character. He's not super high, but he's also not super low either. But I don't think he gets to the point where you would want to put crit damage set on him. If you want to put the crit damage triangle, that's fine. But I may prefer offense just simply because of his burning and to increase the damage on that. So either way, I think Django works with either way, but it also depends on your lead. Next question. Chewy question. Will Malik have a similar kit to Thrawn?
No idea.
I mean, if you're asking if he's going to get Fracture, I'm going to say no.
Meh.
He'll have another kind of ability that may be similar, but he's not going to get Fracture. I don't also see them adding another character that adds this ability similar to Fracture. It is, in my opinion, it is the most powerful ability in the game.
To be honest, I'm surprised they didn't give it to Revan.
Revan say.
They gave him everything else.
They gave him something similar, so I mean, they gave the anti-taunt thing, or the force taunt, or whatever you want to call it.
Maybe that'll be Dark Side Revan.
Yeah, the
he'll have the undispellable death mark combined with isolate and fracture.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Fracture is the most powerful ability in the game, the single most. So I don't think they're going to introduce anything that matches it, per se. They might have something that's similar, the same way that Revan has kind of nerfed the Death Mark and created Mark. They could, I'm just going to throw this out there as a name. They might have Malik get an ability called Crack that's going to be similar to Fracture, but just to a lesser extent. There you go.
Possibly.
We can talk about how Malik is all about crack and then just have fun with that conversation. That would be the greatest thing ever.
Then would he be called Crackalack?
No, we got to put crack on Malik. Malik likes his crack. Aparingo, question for Ranger. Can you summarize the history of Revan when he got the mask and went to the dark side, then went back? What happened to Malik in like 3 to 5 minutes? That's our last question. So, Ranger, do you want to...
Well, once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away was a... so, Revan was found not as a... he was found as a child. I can't remember the Jedi Master that found him. He was brought to the Jedi Temple to train. And this is the Old Republic era. They saw exceptional skills in him immediately. And that he had this thirst for knowledge. He had several teachers. One of them was Darth Treya, who was Krey at the time. And they had a philosophy as he started going through the academy that there was more to the Force than the Jedi were leaning on, were letting them know. And they had a different view of the Force altogether. And that's where it kind of started in there. Now, as he got into his teenage years, early adulthood, is when the Mandalorian Wars broke out. And the Mandalorians back in the day were just ruthless. They were genocidal, warrior, cultish kind of thing. And the Jedi Council did not want to get involved because they're Jedi, they're peacekeepers, they're not warriors. Well, Revan said, the hell with that. He wasn't even called Revan there. He took the name Revan as he took a group of Jedi who became his followers and started leading the Galactic Republic forces. Needless to say, he wins through a whole bunch of stuff, which is in the Knights of the Old Republic. And after that, he had premonitions about Vitiate, the Emperor of the Sith Empire. Didn't know his name was Vitiate, but he went after that. Vitiate basically defeated them and sent them back. There's a whole. This is just the basic form. There's more to the story, but sent him back, and he became the Lord of the Sith with Malak. They discovered the Starforge. They started a war. Revan foresaw that he had to burn everything down to build it back up because he knew the Sith Empire was coming. So that leads to the whole Knights of the Old Republic. During the battle, a couple of real quick facts. Malak's reason he has that mask thing on is because he failed Revan one time and he cut his jaw off, basically. Revan was then betrayed by Malak, when he was facing a Jedi task force led by Bas Lashan to go get him. They basically wiped his memories and yada yada yada. Get into the whole Knights of the Old Republic. Needless to say, the good guys win, and then Revan marries Bastila. They have a child, but soon after, the pull to that leads him to go after Vitiate again, and then that leads to a lot of the story arc that you see in the Old Republic. Revan's whole philosophy of the Force was that the Force is just the Force. You use it for what it is. Revan, the ends justified the means. So if he had to lose 1,000 troopers in a battle to secure a world and defeat the enemy and kill them 10-1, he didn't have any problems with that. He didn't have problems using both sides of the Force, and he's one of the few that have ever mastered the light side and the dark side. He could do stuff with wielding two lightsabers that few could before him. So he's a fascinating character. I'm just giving you the quick basic notes. There's way more to it. If you just read about Revan, you're like, damn. He's one of the most complex and complicated characters. He's a villain, but he's also a hero at the same time. But he doesn't view himself as either. He doesn't care. He just does what he thinks is best for everybody. And if sacrifices need to be made, oh well. But he's not ruthless in the sense that he's not bloodthirsty. So check him out. There we go.
That gave me a time to eat my popcorn.
I know. I try to keep that. There's way more, but I was just giving like basic.
Thank you for asking that. That gave me time to eat my popcorn. It was like the perfect time.
Shut up, Finn.
Story time with Ranger.
Shut up, Meg. All right, so that's our stream for today. We got our big stream tonight. Hopefully we got some more news and announcements that are coming in. So check it out. It's the longest running live stream in the Galaxy of Heroes community. So please, if you can, come check us out tonight and support us. The event will be posted up soon. Make sure you stop what you're doing and give us a thumbs up on the video. Like and subscribe is always important. It helps us with monetization, getting our content out there. So please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. We do a lot of live streaming, as I said at the beginning. So if you want to know when we're doing all our live streams, that's the best way to do it. And check out our Patreon. And then last but not least, Finn, stay strong.
That's right.
How's the ACS stuff going?
Do you want to play the video? We'll end on
that.
We'll
outro the video. So everybody mute your mics. I'll outro the video, and then we'll call it a day. So on behalf of myself and the RSG crew, have a good rest of your day, and enjoy the video again.
I've been fighting cancer. It's life-changing. Cancer has scarred me physically, emotionally, internally.
That is Sith Lord Stu, one of the original members of Reality Skewed Gamers. Unfortunately, Sith Lord Stu was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. He has been treated for it, but the struggles from after cancer still remain. Reality Skewed Gamers is teaming up with American Cancer Society this year for our charity fundraiser for 2019. We now have a great campaign started and a bunch of different things that everyone can donate to and get some fun rewards out of. Here are some of them that are available. Want a simple way to support the American Cancer Society this year? Well, just head to the Tiltify reward page and purchase this wristband. This wristband is going to commemorate the Stu Strong campaign that RSG and the American Cancer Society are putting on this year, and your donation will go to the American Cancer Society. In return, we will mail you a Stu Strong wristband so you can show your support for the American Cancer Society. So what are you waiting for? Get this wristband now. There is a limited supply, so make sure that you get yours today. With the purchase of the Good Old Maurice reward, you will get a video showing all of the dances that Good Old Maurice did on Jedi Academy with commentary about what he was thinking at the time he was doing it. Plus, there will be one additional bonus dance that you can vote for on Tiltify as well. All you have to do is go to the poll section and determine whether or not you want to vote for Good Old Maurice doing the Harlem Shake, the Truffle Shuffle, or the Dougie. Have you seen all those professional videos and podcasts made by Nukin? Well, Nukin has a great surprise for you. Head to the challenges section of the Tiltify page and you will see that Nukin is willing to give away a Blue Yeti mic or another microphone for you for anyone that donates to that challenge. As soon as that challenge is filled, the drawing will be held to anyone that had donated it. So are you interested in a Blue Yeti mic, a Blue Nano mic, or a Lola headphone? Just head to the Tiltify challenge page and donate now. Ever wanted to see Finity from Reality Skewed Gamers wearing glitter and rhinestones with the silver and white wig? Well, now is your chance. All you have to do is donate to the challenge on the Tiltify page. But this isn't just for the American Cancer Society, it's also for the children.
Kyrie, do you have a message for the RSG listeners?
Yes. Please donate to Finn so I can see him with his silver wig with sparkles and rhinestones and play Cowboy Cats and dress up his porgs.
And how will you feel if you get to see him like this?
Really happy.
Really, really happy.
Yeah.
So, what should everybody do?
Donate to Finn.
So please visit the links that you see on the screen or are in the description of the YouTube video to donate and help the American Cancer Society and the RSG charity campaign for 2019 this year.